All right, so oh, something wrong. All right, so I actually have only done this training one time, and it was during COVID when we were 100% remote. We weren't coming in. It was full-fledged COVID-19. And I think that we're at a time frame as a hierarchy where the production is sort of like at an all-time high, which is incredible because once again, we're in business for profit. But there's only one way that you actually grow a company. It's not by overproducing yourself as a solopreneur. The only way that you grow a company is you have to expand in size with people, meaning you have to decide to become a recruiter. When I was 18 years old and I sat down with Samir, the first thing that he taught me is that there are 4 ways you can make money in America. You could work for somebody else. That's how 90% of people do it. You could work for yourself. That's limiting and restrictive. You could teach others what you know how to do and have folks working under you, or you could have money working for you. I chose to, I had a really good example. I chose to follow his example and become a recruiter so that I could have people working under me and money working for me. So ODD stands for ownership, overrides, duplication, and distribution. And I started off by saying recruiting is a language, just like French, English, German. I've always thought that way. If you want to become a recruiter, you got to start to learn the language of a recruiter. Do you speak duplication? Do you speak ownership? Do you speak overrides? This is one of the best examples I've ever seen of just a company's breakdown in general. In business, you get paid for foresight, not hindsight. So a lot of you that made a decision to start recruiting at this point, sometimes you run into pushback. Sometimes people question whether like the legitimacy of this company. But this is not the only time that's happened in American business. A long time ago in the 1950s, there was a company that people questioned the legitimacy of too. And it was started by a gentleman that, tried to sell an opportunity to sell 15-cent hamburgers and 10-cent French fries, right? And they at that point, they weren't saying that this has already been a good opportunity. They didn't know if it was going to be a good opportunity, and a lot of people turn that opportunity away. So if you bought a McDonald's back in the 1950s, that could be worth multi-millions today, but most people didn't because they didn't know what it was going to turn into. That's the same exact thing that's going on with the Primerica opportunity today. And when you look at the financial services industry, most people, when they get a license, they're in straight sales. Their job is to sell IRAs, 401ks, life insurance products. But when I came in, the people that were training me, they told me that we're not in financial services, we're in the distribution of financial services, right? The goal for all of these products is to get them into as many households as humanly possible in the marketplace, all over the DMV area. But how many places can you be in at one time? Just one. And it doesn't matter if that's whether you're a lawyer, a doctor, the best lawyer in the world can still only be in one courtroom at a time. The best doctor in the world can only work on one patient at a time. And if that person gets sick, then what happens to the products or the service? It stops getting distributed. So I quickly found out the best way to accelerate the speed of which my products are getting distributed was to create a distribution sales force, right? I'm in the distribution of financial services, not financial services. Did the founders sell the products? Nope, they sold the dream, they sold the opportunity, and they sold that you can start a franchise. In the franchise opportunity, you have a choice. Everything's always a choice. You can choose to be the $10 per hour employee, in which case your income is dictated by someone else, your schedule is determined by someone else, and therefore your lifestyle is determined by somebody else. And there's like zero chance for upward mobility. Or you can decide, hey, I want to become a business owner, a franchisee, where you have a lot more freedom. Or you could be the person that recruits the franchisee, right? Business owner recruits employee. McDonald's recruits business owner. Or in the case of Remax, same thing. I decided to, when I'm talking to folks about this opportunity, not necessarily recruit people to selling products, but making their own business, right? Which one are you? Big business mentality or small business mentality? See, McDonald's doesn't necessarily sell the best tasting hamburger in the world, but they do sell the most hamburgers in the world. Fuddruckers, in my opinion, has one of the best tasting hamburgers that you can customize and put together. But when I put this together, they were liquidating between 92 million and 123 million of their assets during COVID. Why is that? Because they needed to downsize to create more revenue for the companies to like stay in existence. How many locations, even though they got a better tasting hamburger, how many locations does Fuddruckers have? 156. How many locations, and they were started 42 years ago. How many locations does McDonald's have? 36,000. Wow. How much revenue did Fuddruckers bring in? 148 million. Better tasting hamburger. How much revenue did McDonald's bring in? It's not even revenue, this is cash flow. 5.7 billion. Better tasting hamburger? No, just more locations. So, why do we recruit? 2 reasons, that's it. There's 2 reasons why we recruit. Number 1 is to have more places to go. Anybody want more places to go, more clients to see, more opportunities to make money? That is number 1. Number 2 is probably, in my opinion, even more important, is to create more franchises, or in our case, regional vice presidents. Primerica gives you the opportunity not just to become a regional vice president, but to produce regional vice presidents. Fun fact I learned on a trip that of all the regional vice presidents in Primerica, only 5% produce another one. Why is that? They all have the same opportunity. 95% of regional vice presidents never produce another one. With all the bonuses, all the equity opportunity, I mean, it's just, they just never decided to, right? So that's why we recruit. Why do we build? Why do, when I recruit somebody, do I not just take them into the field and sell, but my go-to is, I want to recruit Claudia, right? And the very next day, what did we do? We recruited Ingrid, exactly. Why is that my go-to? Because I'm not just trying to recruit just to recruit or recruit to sell. I'm recruiting to build a company within a company within a company, right? Ownership is reason number 1 for that. Because, you know, Primerica's got an incredible ownership opportunity. Overrides is number 3, massive passive income. Guys, you know, I thought about something last night. Who's impressed with Rod's performance last month?
Yes.
You know what I'm even more impressed with? is Dante.
Mhm.
I'm not joking. I realized that, and who's impressed with Sheila's performance like all the time?
Yeah.
You know what I'm more impressed with? Samir. See, I don't have to become the best. I have to what? Find the best. I don't have to be a client finder, like the best of the best. I have to be a people finder. And there's no restriction on that, right? I can only be in one place at a time as a client finder. But my God, there's no limit on how large of an empire I can create when I make recruiting my focus in my head and my heart. Assets is another one. I'm building a company because I want an asset to run without me needing to be there. Would you guys prefer to rent an apartment or own a home? Own a home, because when you rent an apartment, all the money every month that you send towards rent is not going towards anything. And you got to start over from scratch the next month, right? You pay, you stay, you pay, you stay, you pay, you stay. You stop paying, can't stay no more. But when you've got a home of your own, you pay that mortgage, you pay, you stay, you pay, you stay. Eventually the asset is paid off. And I was taught that ownership is an end to the cost and a continuation to the benefit. That's what ownership is, right? We build assets here when you decide to become a recruiter, because you can pay the price for 2 to 3 years. And then once the assets build, continue to reap the benefits. That's ownership of an asset, right? Distribution, equity, freedom, time, and money. That third one, man, Samir had, and he'll do this another time, but he has this training where he shows 2 schedules. On the one schedule is this big red block from Monday through Friday where all your time is taken up from a job. From you wake up 8 a.m., you drive in traffic to the job 9 to 5, boom. No one, you can't get nothing else done. You know, no errands, no building, no nothing. And then you come home to your children and family, and they hopefully get the leftover remains of energy that you may or may not have. And then he turns the slide to the next schedule, and it's his schedule. And it's blank, except for one little red piece on Saturday morning. And 20, 30,000 a month, like clockwork, of passive income. That can only happen by deciding to become a recruiter. That's why we build, okay? So a couple things to know. You got to begin with the end in mind. You win in your mind first. First, you say, okay, this is the size of the business I want to create. This is the time frame I want to do it in. You do it in your head, then you do it on paper, and then you build it in real life. You got to understand recruiting solves all problems. Are you behind on a credit card bill? Good. Make recruiting your main priority. Are you behind on your promises with your family? Good. Make recruiting your main priority. Recruiting solves all problems. You will be pulled outside of your comfort zone. Just accept that and proceed forward. You're going to have to speak to people you've never spoken to. You're going to have to develop communication skills you've never developed before. You might have to read books and listen to audios that you've never read or heard before. You might have to be a little bit more consistent in checking in with your coach on a daily basis. These are things that, if you're not consistent in, by definition, you'll be uncomfortable with, and you have to get outside of your comfort zone. Then your leadership will be tested and stretched. My gosh, when you decide to become a recruiter, understand with people come, and with people come people problems. Just accept that that's going to happen, and you, again, have a choice to develop your leadership lid or stay the same. If you stay the same, you won't attract any more size in your business. You'll just stay the same size. And I'm talking to myself. You'll become patient. You got to understand, more always wins. This is just stuff from the orientation. The law of large numbers. If I got to find quality, I got to understand it only comes from quantity, right? Anybody ever had a recruit say they go talk to one person and the one person told them no and they said, oh, this doesn't work? I've had that happen, right? It's just like working out. The guy goes to the gym, works out one time, looks at his abs and says, oh, this doesn't work. I don't have a six-pack. The law of large numbers is the only way that you find quality. And if you're looking for that 1 in a million recruit, you might have to go through a million people. Let go of attachments. This is so big. I was talking to Xander yesterday about somebody that we recruited earlier this month for him that, is kind of fizzling out. And we put a lot of time in this person. And he said, he was a little down, long story short. And I told him, dude, you should have so many guys, you forget about your guys. You got to be a mile wide. So Samir in January was like, dude, you don't have a cash flow problem or a production problem. You have a width problem. You're not wide enough. Go get wide. And so what did I do? I found Mike. Then I found Claudia. And we're just getting wider, right? Let go of attachments. Always think and dream big. We need to go back to dreaming. Don't ever forget what blew your butt out of the water about this business. What blew my butt out of the water is there's no territory restrictions. There's no expansion restrictions. There's very low to non-existent startup franchise fees. These are things, and then I could build a company that gives me ownership with zero experience, and I've got mentorship that outside of this industry people pay millions of dollars for. These are the things that blew my butt out of the water. Do not listen to those who earn less than you. Don't do it. Do not pay attention to others' opinions of you. If you wouldn't trade your life for that person's life, why are you considering how they think of you? Be clear, simple, and precise. These are just things that are basics if you want to be a top-notch recruiter. Be clear, simple, and precise. Can you simplify this business? If somebody says, what is Primerica? What is this? In less than 3 minutes, can you describe what Primerica is all about and the financial industry? How to become a #1 recruiter. Okay, step 1, know exactly what you want. Okay, that was the other one. You see how they all start with the same thing? What do you want? Know what you want. Number 2, develop skills of prospecting. Okay, what is prospecting? It's having a conversation with somebody about something with a purpose. And there's so many types of prospecting on our YouTube channel. There's a bunch of trainings about it, but nothing could happen without prospecting. No clients can be serviced. No appointments can be set. Nothing. It starts with deciding to become a prospector, setting and recruiting appointments daily. I should have put daily. Presenting our opportunity. These are things you've got to master. If someone said, rank your skill set on a scale of 1 to 10 in presenting our opportunity to somebody, how would you rank yourself? Matter of fact, write that down. Rank yourself 1 to 10 in all of these things, actually. Have a system in place whereby recruiting never stops. I have recruiters on my team, thank God, and I'm so, like Marin, that I'm so proud of. Jeff just recruited somebody of his own yesterday. I'm so proud of Jeff. Xander, all you guys, increase your belief daily. There's power in proximity. So if I'm not a recruiter right now, and I haven't been in the last year, would it make sense to speak to and hang around a bunch of, only producers? No, it would probably be a good idea to start getting around and rubbing elbows with recruiters, asking questions to them, picking their brain. There's power in proximity, right? Let's skip that. Mechanics, and this is like the last slide, I'm pretty sure. So the mechanics of actually building, you are one decision in 12 months away from earning $20,000 a month. And then it says why. Something Bruce always talked about is an equation, and I really want you to write this down, Claudia. 1, 4, 5, 4, 10, 240. So it starts with you. You are the one, right? And you, when you decide to become a recruiter, you go out and in 1 month, or every month rather, you go get 5 direct recruits. Okay. And then 4. Yeah, you guys are easy. That was a test. That was a test. You go out and get 4 direct recruits. Then you help them get wide by sprinting wide with them. Get them 5 directs immediately, right? Do an orientation within 24 to 48 hours. Get their list. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at getting a list from a new recruit? And then qualifying that list and getting into their market with speed. Get them 5 directs, but with the intentions of driving deep. It should look like this. You go get 1, 2, 3, 4 directs, and you help them sprint wide, and you drive down 4 deep. 1, 2, 3, 4 deep. Why do you do that? Because this depth locks them in like the roots of a tree. Then you will double-digit recruit every single month, and then probably teach 2 to 3 other people to do the same. And 12 months later, you will have recruited about 240 people for the year. And Bruce Kalk calls that takeoff speed, or boiling at 212. For regional vice president, I'm talking to the folks that want to become a regional vice president. This is the mechanics behind building. You don't just become a regional vice president because you could do 10K personal. You become a regional vice president because you know how to build something and then teach it to other people. Samir taught me, if you know how to do it, you'll get rich here. If you teach others how to do it, you'll get wealthy. Why are you one decision in 12 months from earning $20,000 a month? Is because once you get to this point, you have you and probably somewhere between 4 teams writing 5 to 10 sales a month. And then after replacement, you as a regional vice president have a team writing 20 sales a month. If you go out and write 10 sales as an RVP, that's 110%. That's $11,000 a month. If the average spread on this is 50%, that's another $10,000 in overrides, plus a 20% bonus, which is another $4,000, right? 4 plus 10 is 14, plus 11 is $24,000 a month of income. Times 12 months in a year is $300,000 a year of income. You are one decision and 12 months away from $20,000 a month. But you got to make the decision. So hopefully this was helpful, guys. Make the decision to become a recruiter. Hopefully this is a good message going into the second quarter, which will be beginning soon. All right, thank you.
So there's different, I categorize trainings differently. There are why to, and then there's how to. That was a why to training. Why do you want to recruit? So people in here are listening and they're like, man, I got to override others. I want to bring in big volume. I want to have passive income. I want to have an amazing life. I want to grow by not just by addition, but by multiplication, right? And so that training, maybe it gets you excited, but how do you recruit? the way that you recruit, I mean, if this business, we can make it complicated. We do annuities, we do rollovers, we replace policies, we take people out of cash value and we recommend term, right? We do financial plans. There's this, we always say that the business is like an engine. It has many moving parts. But at the end of the day, what does it really come down to? It comes down to you building a list. And on that list, there's two things that you do, right? You are going to invite people and you are going to set appointments. That's it. How do you invite someone? Hey, I'm working with this company part-time. I'm really excited. They're expanding. They're looking for people. It may not be for you, but why don't you come check it out? Regardless of what you think, John, maybe you can refer me to somebody. How many sentences is that? 3? 3 or 4? So the inviting people script is 3 or 4 sentences. How do I set an appointment? I just started working for a company. I'm super excited. Can you do me a favor? I just need help with my training. Can you sit down with me and my trainer? If you see value in what we do, maybe you can refer me to someone else. Or here's another one. I just started working with a financial company and I need to get on 10 appointments to get certified. I was wondering if you could be one of my 10. Or, hey, I'm licensed in financial services now. I'm just getting started. And Rod, you and your wife fit in the perfect demographic of people that we look for. Can we sit down and I show you what we do? And that way you can refer me to other people. Can you do me that favor? How many sentences are these? 3 or 4? So you got to learn 3 or 4. And by the way, that last one that I gave, a lot of times when I say the training one, people say, well, what if I'm out of training? How do I set an appointment? I just told you. You tell people, you're in the perfect demographic. I want to show you what we do. And then because you're in the perfect demographic, if you see value, you can refer me to other people. I didn't say buy anything. I didn't say you're going to need what I offer, right? Nothing. Give me 30, 45 minutes. But why don't people do it? Because number one, you haven't put your list together. Or your list was small because your belief is small and you prejudge people and you say, oh no, that person's smart. Dude, intellect has nothing to do with financial acumen. I met a lot of smart people that make dumb financial decisions. Right? But you don't know that when you're coming in. You don't understand that. Your belief isn't there. You got to redo your list. You got to learn these sentences, even if you're reading off of it. And then it's not about how well you say the sentences, it's how many times you say it. Right? In everything, there is what we learn in 3rd grade, right? Numerator, denominator. Numerator, denominator. The denominator is what? How many attempts we make. So if you talk to 10 people and then you get 2 results, you're running a 2 out of 10 conversion rate. Now that's not great. Maybe Sheila only needs to talk to 2 and she gets both. She's running 2 out of 2. This is called efficiency. We all want to get to efficiency, but you know how you can beat out efficiency? Just change the denominator, and guess what? Even if you don't get more efficient, you're going to get more results. When you wait and wait and wait to do anything, when you say, I want to know more, I want to know more, I have to learn more, I need more training, you guys need to teach me more things, I need to get that other license. What you are trying to do is you're trying to go from what? You're trying to go from 2 to 4 out of 10, right? Congrats, you became more efficient. But what the hard worker is doing is saying, I'm not that good. What I'll just do is I'll do more. If she only has to do 2, I'll do 5. If Bao only has to do 5 interviews to get 3 recruits and I have to do 15, that's fine. I'll do 15. Focusing on the numerator, which is efficiency, you're going to move slow. You got to move the denominator. You know, one of the top base shops that are out there right now, Danny Barragon, he reposted a post from one of his guys. And his guys posted a text thread. He was like, look, Danny Barragon is texting me. I'm working with one of the #1 money earners. By the way, this guy's 24, making $250,000 a month. So this kid on his team is like, look, this is my coach. And he posted the text thread. Anybody see that? What did the text thread say? Danny is texting this young kid. Probably he sends out 1,000 of these texts a day. He goes, where are you at for the day? On your 300 messages sent out. It doesn't take a lot. What am I trying to say, Rod? They're outworking us. There's a lot of people that we know that are better at this, at the top number, including me. What we need to get better at is the bottom number, more attempts. How many times are we saying it? How many times are we saying it? The expectation in that office, everybody wants to be part of, oh, can I visit the office? Can I meet him? Can I talk to him? No, can you send out 300 messages in a day if you got that text from the #1 money earner? Most people don't send that out in a year. That'd be 25 a month. And why don't we learn the sentences? And not we, right? I'm really talking about the outside world. Why don't people do Primerica? Why don't they just say, man, if I just learn a couple sentences and go out and talk to people, and yeah, that's fine. 8 out of 10 are going to say no, but I'm doing it for the 2 that say yes. Why? Because what do we read in the books? Successful people seek pleasurable results. And then whatever the methods are, we accept that and then we do it. Unsuccessful people seek pleasurable methods and get satisfied with the results that those methods bring. Let me say that again. Successful people seek pleasurable results. But whatever the methods are, they'll do it. Unsuccessful people seek pleasurable methods and become satisfied with the results that those methods bring. So when I started Primerica, people say, oh, you got to make phone calls. You have to sell. You're working commission. You don't know when you're going to get paid. That's a sucky method. I'd rather go get a job. That's an easier method. But guess what? I have a pleasurable life. I'm not judging anybody else. I just know I'm blessed. I have a pleasurable life because I chose pleasurable results, even though I didn't seek pleasurable methods. What I was doing wasn't pleasurable. That's the thing, man, is that people look at this and they're like, oh, that's hard. I know. But if you go the hard way, you can have an easy life one day. If you go the easy way, your life may be hard.